Hello! Another sunny day here in the marina, and today I'll be attempting to clean up the boat. As you can see, this is our boat. It's a bit dirty. I started a bit here just to make sure the pressure washer works. But yeah, I swear this boat is supposed to be white and not greenish. So I am just gonna get straight onto it. Get some music going and hopefully I can clean this boat up. Get it ready for sale. Alright, while you guys are watching me struggle with washing this boat, I guess I might as well use this time to answer 10 questions from my buddy Neo. He posted this about half a week ago now, and you know what? Might as well do a 2-for-1 in this video. You can watch some power washing and you can hear my answers to his questions. If you want to hear his answer, make sure to check out his video, description below. First question being, pick 3 famous people to be shipwrecked on an uninhabitable island. Who and why? I think I'll probably grab some smarter people than me. Bear Grylls comes to mind because he's a survivalist, so maybe he'll teach me what bugs to eat, and hopefully we don't have to resort to drinking our own urine. Adam Savage from Mythbuster, just because he's very smart in just creating things. Maybe he can build a boat out of nothing and we can just sail away and not be on this uninhabitable island. And last but not least, probably Neil deGrasse Tyson, just because he's funny and also smart. You know, maybe he can use the stars to navigate our makeshift boat. Second question being, if you have a tattoo, do you regret it? And if you don't, will you get a tattoo? I personally do not have any tattoos, and I don't foresee myself getting any tattoos because I am squeamish for pain. I do not like pain, and I feel like tattoo will be painful. And that's the only reason why I don't want a tattoo. Third question. What would you call your own autobiography? For that one, I would just call it Mr. Ho. Because that's who I am. I'm Mr. Ho. And I think it will be like big red font on the white book. It's gonna be like eye-catching, so maybe people will buy it. And they'll be like, well, who the hell is Mr. Ho? And then, well, you have to read to see who Mr. Ho is. Question number 4. What is the worst nightmare you have ever had? I don't usually remember most of my dreams, to be honest. Usually I wake up and I just forget what the hell I was dreaming about. A semi-reoccurring one is me driving. And I'm driving on, like, say, a highway or a bridge or somewhere. Mostly because I've driven ever since I'm of legal age, and that's just something that I do all day, every day. And for some reason, I end up on the opposite side of the traffic. And I would get into a car crash and presumably pass away. But every time I do pass away, time rewinds maybe like 5 seconds before the crash, and I would try everything I could to avoid the crash, but I end up crashing anyways. And this is like a non-stop loop of me crashing, time going back, like a Groundhog's Day kind of thing. Our time would go back 5 seconds, and me trying to avoid, trying to find different ways to not crash. And at the end of it all, I would just give up and accept that, and that's usually when I wake up. So yeah, I would think that's a pretty bad nightmare. But you know, continuing with the sleep topic, what position do you like the best when you sleep? I would say on my back. I'm not a tosser. I don't move around when I sleep. I usually just lay on my back, and that's the vanilla way of me sleeping. My wife has told me that sometimes when I sleep, I would inch over to her side, so I would be laying slightly on top of her while I'm on my back, so I'm on like a slight incline, using her and the mattress to, you know, take my weight. But yeah, so I guess subconsciously I like to lay slightly on my wife, but personally, when I do first fall asleep, I am on my back. Next question, if you see a beggar on the roadside, do you give them money? I do not. Mostly because I don't believe they will use the money for good, right? They might just use the money to buy more drugs or to further continue their habits. I would give food instead, right? Funny story, there's one time me and my friends went to Seattle for PAX, and in America, apparently they have this 100 chicken nuggets deal, right? And me and my friend, being the teenagers that we are, we both ordered 100 chicken nuggets to see if we can finish it all. But yeah, so we were eating along, and neither of us really did enjoy it. After like the 30th, 40th chicken nuggets, even with all the different sauces and dippings, it just got really, really bland. And we ended up with maybe like 30 or 40 chicken nuggets between the two of us. And we decided, you know what, just we'll give it to the homeless, right? We'll give it to the homeless that are just on the streets. And, that would be the best way to not waste food. So when we ended up giving it to like beggars, they were asking, hey, where's the dipping sauce? And I'm like, I'm giving you free food and you're asking for dipping sauce? But yeah, so short of it is, no, I would not give them money. Most likely I'll just give them food. Next question, how much money would it take for you to pose naked in front of a camera? I guess if it's like tasteful and in the spirit of like a healthy thing, like a science thing maybe, wouldn't be much. I think my body is fine, and I think that if it's good for science, I will do it. Yeah, I'll do it for science. How old were you when you had your first taste of alcohol? Definitely of age. Like I said before, I drive a lot. Ever since I was of legal age, I drove. So I am always the designated driver of the group. I think it wasn't until I was, let's say, 20 is when I had a can of like fruity alcoholic beverage, and at that point I didn't even know it was alcoholic. I was just like, oh, this tastes kind of good. But yeah, probably around 20. Do you think you can ever up and relocate to another country? I think I could. If I can sell my properties here, well, property here, I would love to find out other cultures and countries. I think it's very interesting how other people live, and I'd like to adapt to it. Going back to the island, if there is no form of food, so Bear Grylls failed me, who would you cannibalize first? I'll probably just offer myself. I think at that point it's just a ticking clock, and there's really no hope. So I just don't want to live on the island anymore. As a bonus question, have you ever met a famous person? Not really, unless you're into fighting games. I did fight against Justin Wong at PAX back in Seattle, which is famous-ish, I guess, if you're into fighting games. But yeah, that's about it, and I'll hand it back to the power washer. Alright, I did what I could. There's still some gunk here and there, but some of it is pretty much permanent. If you guys want to take a look, we have the back of the boat, a bit more white here and there, right? You guys can actually see that it's not just covered in permanent green ickiness, but it is on the water, so algae and all the debris will always kind of creep back up when we don't maintain it. We're also in the path for the planes, so a lot of soot kind of drops from the sky and just lands all over the marina. But here is Making Waves, slightly cleaner, and fingers crossed that we can sell this sooner rather than later. But that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching, and hope I'll see you guys online next time.